What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Celtics and Heat, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, this is probably one of the most competitive playoff games we've had so far. Like just in terms of the hustle both sides were giving. Like there were so many plays in the second half, especially whenever there was like a bunch of people like diving on the ground for the balls, a bunch of like just physical plays just going on throughout the game. Um, with that being said, let's get more into detail about things. So first one I want to talk about is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, um, this is a Jimmy Butler game. I think he finished with like 35 points, 6 or 7 rebounds, like 5 assists, 6 steals. Like that's just you can't ask for anything more from Jimmy Butler or anybody in a playoff game. That's insane. The 6 steals, like they weren't just whatever steals. Like every single one of those steals felt like it was a major impact on the game and just swayed and shifted momentum towards the Heat. Um, there were a few plays that I can remember off the top of my head, like Jimmy Butler just coming in, just grabbing rebounds like crazy. He's just out there. He wants to win. There's always players that you can tell, like in a series, they want to win. And in this series, right now, I'm seeing that from Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Caleb Martin. Those guys on the Heat are guys that I'm like, they want it. They got that dog. Another thing for the Heat from Bam. Bam is somebody like for the past few years has been kind of a weird subject for me because I always see like he can be so good. He can be so good, but he just never focuses on the offensive side of the ball. So, especially in the Knicks series, like carrying on through now, seeing Bam be aggressive is it's amazing. Like this is a Bam we need to see throughout the regular season. So I think if he keeps on being aggressive offensively, that's what's going to help them win this series if they are able to do that. Like him being aggressive really helps take offensive pressure off of Jimmy because with Tyler Harrell getting hurt, like the only person that you know what you're going to get from offensively is Jimmy Butler. Like outside of that, it's just role players. So if Bam is able to be consistent, continue being aggressive, like that's going to help Jimmy a lot and kind of create more stability within their offense. Um, there were a few fast breaks where Bam would come up, get the rebound, and just like bring the ball off the court like coast to coast. Like that's stuff he needs to be doing more of. Like he was able to draw fouls and just get easy buckets because with his size, athleticism, and speed, he's unstoppable in the fast break. Um, Also with him being aggressive, it's able to hurt the Celtics switching defense. He comes and sets a screen. Maybe it's Marcus Smart guarding the ball handler. Bam sets a screen. Pause. Gets the ball. He has Marcus Smart on him. He gets the ball in the high post off of a little pop. Marcus Smart is not stopping him there. And with Bam's basketball IQ, if they come help double whatever, he's gonna make the right pass. Like he's gonna make things easy for his teammates. Along with that, Kevin Love was a big part of this game for the Heat. I remember in the second half coming out of halftime, I think they were down. I don't remember for sure, but they were a little bit down, and Kevin Love comes out and he's just making outlet passes after outlet passes, throwing it all the way up the court, playing defense, just playing with intensity. Like that's Miami Heat culture right there. Like Heat culture is something that gets talked about all the time. Kevin Love is Heat culture. Following that, Kyle Lowry coming off the bench, making an impact. Come on, man, don't play. Kevin Kyle Lowry coming off the bench is one of the greatest coaching decisions I've ever seen in the playoffs. Like we all know who Kyle Lowry is. He could be starting, but him being able to go out there and like kind of take over the second unit, he's able to like maneuver, get through screens. Like he gets to his spot so efficiently. It just makes everything easy for him while he's out there with the second unit. He can play his game. He's not afraid of like taking the shots because there's like Jimmy out there who like needs the ball. Like Kyle Lowry can get out there, play his game, get through the screens, make the right pass. Like what he's doing so far in these playoffs reminds me of 2 years ago Chris Paul with the Suns. The way like we know Jimmy's the guy the same way that Devin Booker was the guy, but Chris Paul is able to get to his spots efficiently whenever Devin Booker's either not on the court is like taking the back seat on the court. So yeah, um, Max Strus also made a big impact in this game. He hit some big threes in the second half. Once again, I it felt like every time he hit a shot, it was an important shot. It wasn't like just in the flow of the game. It's like his shots were changing like the outcome. Yeah. And then kind of what I was talking about before, guys that just want to win, like go and go out there and just put their bodies on the line, play after play after play. Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent throughout the entire playoffs, they're out there making huge plays, and that really caught me off guard. Like I expected a little bit more from Gabe Vincent than Caleb Martin because I remember a few years ago I was watching Euro Ball, and Gabe Vincent was hooping, bro. Like he was doing his thing. But Caleb Martin's the one that really surprised me. He's out here hitting clutch shots, big shots, taking people off the dribble. We know he plays defense. We know Caleb Martin's going to play defense, but the things he's doing offensively is really surprising me. And then we know it's playoff time. Adjustments are everything. Coach Spo is probably the best playoff coach I've ever seen. Obviously, outside of like he's up there with Greg Popovich, Phil Jackson, those guys. The way he makes adjustments is insane. Me as a Knicks fan, that's my problem with Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is out here playing guys that aren't playing good the entire playoffs, but when he has Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose and guys like that sitting on the bench who can come in and make an immediate impact, but he's not going to go to them because they haven't been playing a lot throughout the season. But Coach Spo is not going to do that. Coach Spo, he's out here putting in guys like Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson wasn't getting minutes halfway through the year this year. Comes to the playoffs times, he's like, okay, our guys are struggling. Dunk, go shoot some threes, bro. Duncan gets out there, hits shots. He's getting minutes. He's making an impact now. Yeah, you can't be afraid to throw different people out whenever it's playoff time. So yeah, now switching over to the Celtics side of things, I think the biggest thing for the Celtics this game that gave them an advantage, even though they ended up losing the game, is a lot in the first half and some in the second half. They were playing fast. Like they're getting the rebounds, they're going. They're not okay. Come get the ball. I got the rebound. Let me hand it off to you. No, they're catching it. They're either going off the dribble or they're gonna get an outlet pass. They're going, and that really created a lot of easy buckets and like 3-on-2, 2-on-1 opportunities for them when they're coming down the court. Um, Something that's important for them, especially, is everybody on the court for the Celtics at nearly all times can guard 2 through 5, 1 through 5. Like they can switch everything. Like I'm Jalen Brown's at the 2. I'm cool with Jalen Brown guarding Bam Adebayo if he gets switched for a play. It's not a big deal. He's physical and strong, and he's known to be a good defender. Like especially whenever you have like their big lineup with you have Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and Robert Williams. Those guys are all able to switch 2 through 5. And sometimes when you have Malcolm Brogdon in there at the 1, you can switch 1 through 5 at times. Like obviously Malcolm Brogdon on a 5 is not ideal, but for a play, it's not that big of a deal. They just have the defensive capabilities to guard up 1 through 5 regardless of who's guarding who. That's huge in the playoffs. Something else that Malcolm Brogdon does is, especially whenever he's out there controlling the ball, he's bringing up the court, he's initiating the offense. He has the ability to break a play and go get a bucket whenever he sees it's necessary. This is huge because it allows Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, they might not be on the court, or maybe they're not like in the zone right then. They're getting locked up a little bit. Malcolm Brogdon can take advantage of not having an elite defender on him and go get his own bucket. That happened a lot throughout the second half, and he was big for the Celtics throughout the game. Um, Robert Williams, with his paint protection, was huge in this game. He had a few really big blocks. So we know what Robert Williams is there to do. He's going to play defense, protect the paint, get rebounds. I just really hope he stays healthy for the rest of the playoffs because it, he's such a good player. Like he's an ideal role playing center for any team that's wanting to compete. For me, what I see from Jason Tatum is Jason Tatum, whenever he's getting downhill, he's being aggressive off the dribble, trying to get to the basket. That's when he's at his best. A lot of the times we see Jason Tatum settling, he's doing his little sidestep whenever he hasn't gotten to the rim yet. But whenever he gets downhill, forces a layup, gets some contact, he's initiating contact, creating fouls, getting and ones, and then they start trapping him whenever he goes off the dribble, double teaming. Help comes in. Jason Tatum is able to make those passes. He can retreat dribble, pass, skip, whatever. He has the IQ to make those plays. Um, and a lot in the fourth quarter, they had him coming off ball, like setting screens for guys, sitting in the corner, and that was frustrating to me because I want the Celtics to win this series. And I think they're at their best with Jason Tatum having the ball in his hands. He can, even if he's not the one like they want to score, him being in there like being like a point forward type of guy, initiating the offense, getting them into their sets, telling people where to go. I think that's when the Celtics are at their best. What I really love seeing from Jalen Brown is, especially whenever Jason Tatum was out of the game, he was able to get in there, get to his spots, get tough buckets whenever they needed. So that's what we expect from him. And at times, like I don't want him and Jason Tatum to split up by any means, but I think Jalen Brown on his like controlling his own team would be very interesting to see. But I'm loving the series. Once again, I want the series to go to 7. This is a great series, very competitive. I love it. I can't ask for anything better as an NBA fan. So we'll see how it goes. Peace.